All right, so properties of parallelograms. These properties are very important. We're going to go through eventually properties of like 5 different polygons. So make sure you guys are writing down what we're right here for my properties, and then you refer back to it when you need to. The first property is that opposite sides are congruent. And opposite sides are congruent. Your second property is that opposite sides are parallel. What does parallel mean? Good, you never intersect. Our third property is that opposite angles are congruent. Your fourth property is that consecutive angles are supplementary. And the last property is that diagonals bisect each other. All right, do you guys understand? Why don't you write this down? Are you guys understanding what these vocabulary words mean? What does congruent mean? The same, right? Either same angle or same side. Parallel, I've already said, 2 sides that never intersect. What about consecutive angles? What kind of angles are consecutive? What is consecutive? So if I have consecutive numbers, it's numbers that are right beside each other, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are consecutive numbers. Consecutive angles would mean they're going to be right beside each other, right? So either side-by-side angles. All right, supplementary, 2 angles and add up to what?
180.
180. Diagonals bisect each other. What does that bisect mean?
Like, between.
Huh?
Doesn't like come in between.
Basically, yeah. All right, so number 1. It says each quadrilateral below is a parallelogram. So that means that all those properties that we just did have to apply. Find the missing measures. All right? So before I even answer these questions over here, I'm going to look at my picture and fill out what I can. If AB is 15, what is DC going to be? 15. How do I know that? What's that property that says opposite sides? What are they?
Parallel.
They're parallel and they're congruent. They're going to have the same number. So if BC is 8, what is AD going to be? 8. All right, then it says opposite angles are congruent. So what is congruent to angle with D for 68 degrees? Huh? B. So this would be 68 degrees. How can I find, I have angle D, how can I find angle A? What did it say about consecutive angles in your properties?
Supplementary.
They're supplementary, so that means they have to add up to 180. So what am I going to subtract to get to my angle A?
68 and 68.
No. 180 minus 68. What do you get? Come on, type this in. You good? 112? One, yeah, you're right. So if angle A is 112, now I can fill out angle C. What is that going to be? 112, because opposite angles are congruent. So now I can fill out whatever they ask me for. AD is equal to, DC is equal to, 15. The measure of angle A, 112 degrees. Make sure we're notating when it's degrees. Bless you. The measure of angle B, 68 degrees. And the measure of angle C is 112 degrees. Do you guys get how I just filled out that entire picture? All right, you guys to number 2. Let's see what we got here. All right, so if I fill this picture out, what do you guys get for KL? 29. All right, so JK, did you get 21? For angle J, what did you get? What about for angle N? 53. And so for angle K, we got 53 degrees. All right, so JK should have been 21. KL should have been 29. Angle J was that 127? All right, angle K was 53 degrees. And angle M was 53 degrees. All right, pretty easy? All right, it is going to get a little bit more difficult. All right, number 3 and 4. For number 3, they gave us some more sides. So let's fill in what we know. They told me that RS was 27. What's UT going to be? All right, RU is 18. What's ST? All right, they gave me that UV was 7. How can I find ES? Remember, diagonals bisect each other. So if UV is 7, what's VS? It's 7. All right, then it tells me down here that RT equals 30. That means that this entire thing is equal to 30. Well, clearly I can't just write 30 all over, but I can separate it by each piece. If RT is 30, each piece is going to be what? How'd you get 15? We just divided in half, right? 30 divided by 2. So UT, we got 27. ST, we got 18. BS, we got 7. And BT is 15. What I don't want you guys to do is look and say, if BS is 7, then the other 2 lines have to be 7 too. That is not how this works. Okay? That's how it works for a square, but not for any other parallelogram. So make sure you're paying attention to little details they tell us. All right, number 4 is where it gets a little difficult because we're looking at angles. Okay? I want you guys to look at the fact that these 2 are angles, and those 2 are angles. Do you guys see, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Do you guys see how in each of those angles that I highlighted, there's basically 2 angles there? Do you see that? All right, here we go. An example that I gave earlier, because everyone was just staring at me as if I was crazy. That's one angle, right? Let's say I split it in half. And still, let's say this angle here was 20 degrees. Do we understand that that means that both of these angles together is 20 degrees, right? All right, so what if we said this top angle here was 1 degree? So what would this bottom angle be? 19, because you did 20 minus 1, right? Or if this top angle was 10 degrees, the bottom one would be 10 degrees. Once again, 20 minus 10. Okay, when we look at this picture here, let's start with the fact they told us that FED, which would be FED, so this angle here is equal to 134 degrees, right? They told me that the left side of this angle is 71 degrees. How can I figure out the right side of the angle? What do I have to do? Huh? Are you following me? Because you're looking lost. Guys, say something. Yes, I get it. No, I don't. Huh? These two angles together are 134 degrees. The left side is 71 degrees. How can I find the right side of the angle? Subtract it. So do 134 minus 71. What do you get? What did you get?
61.
Okay. So this angle here is 61 degrees. Draw that in. You just have to kind of create it. So, because I know that opposite angles are congruent, that also means the smaller angles. So that means in angle C, this side is going to be 61, that side is going to be, wait, that doesn't add up, 63. This should be 63. So that means that now the opposite side over here is 71. Your angles are going to be opposite. Alright, so if this angle was 134, these two angles combined have to have a measure. We know that consecutive angles are supplementary. So what's 180 minus 134? 180 minus 134? So that means that this angle D, both of these angles together, have to be 46 degrees. Okay? They already told me that this top piece on the left was 21. How can I figure out the bottom piece? Okay, 46 minus 21, which is? All right, so this piece is 25. So if I want to break down angle D, I just flip it, 25 and 21. So now we have all my angle measures. All we did is basically here's my parallelogram. If this is angle E, this was 134, this was 46. This was 134, this was 46. The difference is both of these large angles were cut in half, or were cut into two angles. So that's what we had to figure out. So now we need to answer these questions. What is the measure of DEC? Follow it with your finger. DEC, whatever's in the middle, this middle angle tells you what your measure is. So what is the measure of DEC? Nope. 63, because we're going from D to E is straight up. So I need this angle here, which is 63 degrees. This stuff takes a lot of attention to detail. All right, look at CDE. That's the whole angle there. So CDE is going to be 46 degrees. The measured angle ECD is going to be what? 71 degrees. Is that part of the angles right in the middle? And then DFE. So from here all the way down. So we're basically going here, down, and then to E. So what is this corner angle? 25 degrees. We have to know how to read our angles at this point. Any questions on number 4? All right, let's look at number 5. All right, number 5, we're going to fill in what we already know. I said XY was 15. WX was 22. ZX was 52. Okay, so if this entire thing here is 52, that means that each piece needs to be cut in half. So I'm going to type in 52 divided by 2. Okay, so each of those pieces is 22. All right. So Ashley told us that each piece is going to be 26. All right, WT is 23. So if that's 23, this is also going to be 23. Make sure when you guys are writing this in, you're writing it on the line. You don't want to take up a angle space. And then WZY is 72 degrees. So this entire angle is 72 degrees. And then WXT is 35. So only this top portion is 35 degrees. And ZWT is 59. So this angle right here is 59 degrees. I'm actually going to write my angles in a different color. 72. All right, so my sides are in blue, my angles are in green. So let's fill out anything else that we can. This entire angle is 72. But I don't know what each piece of the angle is going to be. Okay, that entire thing is 72. I know that this piece is going to be 35 because it's opposite the top in angle X. So this top part of angle X is 35, this bottom part of angle Z is 35. What is this missing angle right here? What did you get?
37.
So you did 72 minus 35, and you got 37 degrees. Okay, so that means that this angle right here is 37 degrees. All right, so if this angle combined is 72 degrees, it needs to be supplemented with angle Y. What is 180 minus 72? 180 minus 72? 108. So that means that this angle together is 108 degrees. They already told me that part of it is 59 degrees, right? The top part of W is 59, to the bottom of Y is 59. How can I figure out this other piece? 108 minus 59 gives me, what'd you get? 49? So that means this top piece is 49. What we're doing is we're looking opposite angles. We're basically just flip-flopping your opposite angles. So now our picture's a little messy, but oh well. ZW was going to be 15. This is the opposite side of XY. ZY would be equal to what?
22.
22. TX would be 26. We already wrote that in. WY, 23 plus 23, 46. And those are my sides. Now they're asking for angles. The measure of angle TZY. Where's T? TZY would go.
41.
No, this bottom one. We're starting at T, Z, Y.
So it's 35.
35 degrees. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. That's that whole angle there. So it's 108 degrees. XWT. So XWT, yep, is 49 degrees. And the measure of XYT, that's 59 degrees. I know it looks clustered, but filling out this picture step by step will really help you manage. Once you're done copying that, let's go ahead and turn to the back. Okay, so let's do number 7. This says to solve for x. They gave you the top side of the parallelogram and the bottom side. How do I solve for x? What's special about opposite sides? They're congruent. So if they're congruent, combine them.
Don't you put like x plus 7 equals
Make them equal to each other. So my equation is 5x plus 7 is equal to 9x minus 25. Alright, so let's solve for x. I'm going to subtract 5x. And I'm left with 7 equals 4x minus 25. I'm going to add 25 to both sides. So I'm left with 32 is equal to 4x. To solve for x, I'm going to divide by 4 on each side. So x equals 8. All right, so I want you guys to work on the rest of this page. besides besides number 14. So you're doing 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When you guys get to number 9, we're going to go over all this. It says that TV is 74. So if this whole side is 74, how would I find out each individual piece? Yeah, divided by 2. Okay, that should get you started. Make sure that you're reading the directions to see what you're solving for. You're not always solving for x and then you're done. Most of the time you're solving for an angle. Alright, so we're going to spend 10 minutes doing this and then we'll go over the answers. Alright, so for we did 7, so let's go back to number 8. What did you guys do for number 8? Okay, so you did 11x plus 1 is equal to 19x minus 31, right? What did you guys get for x? You got 4, is that your answer? No, because they asked for yz. So for yz, we have 19 times 4 minus 31. So what did you get for yz? 45? This would be a great opportunity for you to use Desmos. If you just want to use Desmos and type that equation in and get your x, that's fine. Just know that you also have to find what it's asking you for. This is a great Desmos unit for your equations. All right, number 9. Did you guys write that each piece was worth 37? Did you get that? All right, because it said the whole thing of TV was 74. So if I break it up in half, each piece is 37. So WV, which is the second half here, this piece was 4x plus 1. So that should be equal to 37. What did you get for x? You should get x equals 9. Are you guys getting these right? Alright, number 10. If NS is 2x plus 7, and SQ is 5x minus 23, they want me to find NQ. Well, first let me define what x is. How do I find x there? Make them equal to each other. So we have 2x plus 7 is equal to 5x minus 23. Huh? Because they're not angles, they're sides. Your sides are equal to each other. Nope. 180 is degrees, right? That's your angles. So we can't get angles and sides confused. Okay, so in this case, we get x is equal to 10. But they didn't ask for x. What did they ask for? NQ. So what I'm going to do, if you want, you can just type this in. You can go to Desmos, and you can type in 2 times 10 plus 7 plus 5 times 10 minus 23. If you type in all of that, you'll get n cubed is 54. That is the number of the side, is not the degree. All right, let's look at number 11. It says find the measure of B. Well, what's special about these two angles? Angle A and angle C. What's special about them? What do we know about opposite angles? They're equal to each other. So, 6x minus 15 is equal to 4x plus 1. What do you get for x? You should get 13. That is not my answer because they're asking for angle measure B. All right, so first, in order for us to find B, I need to figure out what angle A is. Let's plug that in. What is 6 times 13 minus 15? All right, so then I know that angle A is 63 degrees. Angles A and B have to add up to 180. So let's do 180 minus 63. What are you left for the measure of angle B? 117 degrees. A lot of this is your vocabulary. A lot of this is knowing your properties. If you look back at the properties that we just wrote, you'll see that consecutive angles are supplementary. So that's where the 180 came from. And so angle B would be 117, and angle D would be 117. All right, number 12, find the measure of angle R. Well, I know that consecutive angles are supplementary. So, I have 3x plus 5 plus 8x minus 12 is equal to 180. I have to find each of those angles. You can type all that into Desmos, or you can do it by hand. Tell me what you get for x. What do you guys get for x? You should get x is equal to 17. All right, but they didn't ask me for x, they asked for angle R. And angle R is directly across from angle P. So we know that those two have to be congruent. So let's plug in at 17 to angle P so I can get angle R. Was 3 times 17 plus 15. Oh wait, plus 5. What did you get? 56. So that means angle R is 56 degrees. We typed it in for P, but we know that's also true for opposite angles. So the measure of angle R is 56 degrees. All right, we have one more to do. Number 13 says that the measure of angle KLH is 134. So this angle, both of those angles is 134. Solve for x. Well, if that's 134, what's this angle going to be? Well, it's 180 minus 134.
180 minus 134.
46. So that means that this angle here is 46. They already told me that part of it was 25. If part of it is 25, what's the other part? 46 minus 25, which gives me, you should get 21. Is anyone confused on where any of these numbers came from? So I can go over it.
Yeah, actually 46, I'm
Okay, so consecutive angles, angles that are side by side are equal to 180. They told me that this one was 134, so I did 180 minus 134. So I know this angle has to be 46, right? So that's 46, this is 46, because opposite angles are the same, and that's 134, okay? Okay, so to solve for x, remember it goes opposite. So this angle was 21 degrees, this angle was 25 degrees. They basically just flip-flop. This 21 was on the bottom for angle H, it's going to be on the top over there. 25 was on the top for angle H, it's going to be on the bottom for angle K. So to solve for x, I'm looking wherever I have x, right there, in that angle. So we have 4x plus 9 is equal to 21. We're just solving for x, so you should get these properties, these type of problems for parallelograms. They're not super easy. So when you guys do your homework, you need to make sure that you're referring back to your notes. If you just stare at your homework with a blank face, you're not going to understand what you're missing. Make sure you go back and look at those properties. All right, for your homework. Homework number 2, you were doing the front only. Okay, front only for homework number 2, which is on page 13. So as I said, I'll be out next class, but make sure you do this homework. Make sure when you're here with the sub, you have your computers charged so you can work on your math space. There are 2 math space assignments that should take you time of class. So make sure you're doing that because it will be 4th grade. Any questions on what you guys have? I'll send out a reminder to you on Tuesday, so Monday night I'll send out a reminder to make sure you have your computers and or headphones if you need to listen to the lesson. So Joseph, you may want to listen to the lesson over the weekend, but in the event that you don't, bring headphones so you can listen to it in class on Tuesday.